Well, working with Parker down at Clam, one of the engineers, we designed a whole line of ice rods for the avid ice angler. This is the power stick version. You know, it has red reel and red highlights on the rod, and it comes in all different shapes and sizes. But what I thought I'd show you here is our sight rod, a little short rod, you know, 16 inches long, still has a nice bend to it, so you could catch any size fish in here. But a lot of people like to sight fish. What I mean about sight fishing is they actually look down the hole. Now with a longer rod, you end up bent way over. But with this little short rod, I can just fish right here, right down the hole, hold this in my hand and just bend my neck and look down the hole and watch that little jig bouncing down there. So it has all the features of a big rod, only it's nice and short, fits in your hand well, you can palm it, and it's just a nice little rod. So you've never tried one of these little short rod sight fishing, give it a try. I think you'll really enjoy it. And sight fishing can be a lot of fun. You can learn a lot about the underwater world and how them fish react to your bait by simply looking down the hole in one of our clam shelters. Now, another one of the rods, it's called the Ice Buster. You know, it's our least expensive one in our line. It's an all fiberglass blank, but it has a nice even bend to it. You know, you can land any size fish on here. It's great to put a spring bobber on because it doesn't have the feel of a graphite rod. So it's more of a visual thing. So you watch the rod tip or add a little spring bobber to it. But still a nice quality rod, you know, virtually unbreakable. You know, great rod for the kids because, you know, I said it's not a real expensive rod. If they toss it around and, you know, destroy it, as sometimes kids can do, it won't affect your pocketbook that much. But still it's a good quality rod. And now we have the True Blue series, my favorite rod by far. It has the good quality solid graphite blank, so it has good feel. Notice there's no spring bobber on the end of this one. I fish with feel, where I can put that down the hole, and when I bounce that little jig, I feel it bouncing down there. And I can feel for that bite. I could be looking at you, and if I get a bite, I would definitely know it and be able to set the hook and catch that fish. I think we worked really hard on is the reel. As ice rods got developed over the, you know, it's been only about 20 years that we started working on good quality ice rods. And the reels kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because that's what we thought we needed, lighter and lighter. But the spool diameter, the arbor here, got so small that we had a lot of memory in our line. When we let it down, it would have these coils in it. So what we did with the True Blue series here is we increased the size of the arbor, but we didn't make it very deep so that a spool of 2-pound test, well, you can get 2 reels filled up instead of just 1. So that's one of the things we did in our True Blue series, in the ultralight and the light. Now, in the heavier ones, the medium action rods, where you're going to use heavier lines, 6-pound test or 8 or 10, you know, then we got the little deeper spool so you can get enough line on them. Again, they're, you know, a high quality graphite blank, you know, reel seat on them, so it's easy to take the reel on and off if you choose to. Instant enter reverse, so that, you know, the handle doesn't go backwards when you set the hook. The drag systems are extremely smooth because, nope, they're at another bite. Because of the larger spool diameter, so the drags are just smooth, so you can land any size fish on light line. So be sure to check out all the quality ice rods from Clam in the True Blue series, the Power Stick, and the Ice Buster. They'll help you catch more fish through the ice.